Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, get into some TA. All right, guys, we did have another day of doing not much of anything. You're just consolidating up here. I do want to, while we're here on the daily time frame, I want to, point something out, and that is that you are increasing here at Spine QQQ with decreasing volume and red candlesticks. Guys, we told you, going into this week, yes, it doesn't, suggest immediate downside, but it is something on Spine QQQ that is going to be suggesting that, hey, pullback or consolidation. I would say the market, listen, it's trying to respect the rules, all right? It's trying to pull back, but it's also gapping up at the same time and then having those pullbacks intraday. So that is why we have these red candlesticks. All right, guys, so we're going to start off here with SPY, go over QQ, IWM, DIA, VIX, go over these semis, go over Bitcoin, and then I have some trade ideas for you guys. All right, now let's talk about it. Daily time frame, you got a large upper wick going on here. Okay, you had a spinning top candle yesterday. That you got something that I'm going to say pretty similar to a shooting star candlestick. You got the decreasing volume as you went up a second day in a row. This is not the best look. It looks like you're going to be pulling back. Come back here, okay? And, you could print these red candlesticks and then continue higher, okay? But it does look like it's going to be rounding off, all right? Let's look at it this way. You printed one of these guys, you pulled back. Well, you printed a spinning top yesterday and you didn't pull back at all, all right? Over here, you even pulled back. Here, you went slightly up and then pulled back. It doesn't look like it's going to go much further to me than, where it's at right now. And then you're going to get that decent pullback. Now, I got something to show you guys on QQ that's pretty funny, all right? Pretty funny if you've been paying attention to us here on the channel and what we've been talking about. All right, but here in SPY, guys, you come down to the smaller time frames. Things actually don't look so bad, all right? They really don't. So I told you guys I was looking for this 15-minute RSI to start resetting itself. You have seen that start to become the case. You also see how I go up and get another bear, point of bearish divergence right here on this little pop. You can see the RSI came up, but not nearly as much as price. All right, higher high over here, lower high over there. You came down and you started bouncing off of, your demand zone down here where you broke up from. You had this little double bottom going on here. This was really the neckline of that. Okay, 555, 53. That is the level we were paying attention to. That is the level that you pull back into and you are finding buyers. Now, we're going to add this to our chart right there. And I am going to point out within this breakout zone, you do have the 0.618 fib. So honestly, guys, I'm not going to say things will get too shabby here. They're really not. You also do have price just literally consolidating here above the 9 EMA. All right. Above the hourly 9. That is what we like to see. But again, all right, you have already done this. Okay. You've already, finished up right there. That's a $7.76 move. You actually have not. You got a little ways to go here. You got just a little ways to go. We could go $1 higher, guys. All right, $1 higher than where we already did. I'm talking maybe we get up to 558 and then we stall out there. But I'm just gonna point out, guys, if you start breaking down from here, you have absolutely nothing holding you up. There was no structure created here. You have nothing. Okay, that's a whole, $4, 4 schmeckles right there, smeckaroonies. The downside. All right, you take out 55553 in the zone, okay, which the bottom of that zone is 55523, just about. Guess what? You have just look, you don't have anything here to hold you up. So I do have to assume you're probably going to come to the next area where you built out that structure. And I'm not really going to call it here. That's just like line in the sand. If you take that out, you got nothing below. Where you really are getting your reactions, we're going to say, right here. Okay. It's going to be 554.52. That is the level that I'm going to be paying attention to. That looks, oh, look at that on the 15-minute time frame. Look where it's saving itself every time. Right around 554.52. All right. So that is the level that, 555. 20, we're gonna say, okay, 55520. If that gets taken out tomorrow, guys, we pay attention to 55452, and underneath there, guys, you got a 15-minute close. I understand you had a fake out over here, But if you see one close underneath and then you see a second close underneath, it you know, there's a solid chance you're gonna see a trending move down. All right. I think we're seeing momentum stall out here, and I think that's what's loading. Just my opinion. All right, just my opinion. Now coming over here to QQQ, this is where things get real funny, guys. You come over here, we had the target. We were saying we're either looking for 560 on SPY or 500 on QQ. Before a pullback, I want to see one of those hit. What hit today at the exact high? You just direct your attention right here next to the H, guys. 500. All right, 500 it was literally the exact high of the day. All right. Listen, guys, we only talk on this channel about the things that work. So if we're talking about things, it's because these are the things that I have found throughout my experience to be the case. And the psych levels, you know, you start approaching one of these guys, it's going to act as a magnet. All right. I'm not saying every $5 is, you know, a major psych level, but 500 was something that was very clear. And it was very obvious that there were going to be sell orders at that level. And the fact that there are sell orders sitting at that level is why price, you know, is attracted to it. That's why the level acts as a magnet. It's because we know sell orders are there. All right. So, you know, moving forward, if you didn't look at it that way this time, that's, you know, something you can add to your little tool chest, tool belt of, you know, technical analysis. And there you go. Okay. A little golden tidbit. But guys, here on the daily time frame, I'm going to point out, you just have another candle of indecision. You got the same thing except larger. All right, guys, the volatility is starting to pick up. Okay, I know VIX is sitting down there, but you know, you have a decent amount of range on the day. Okay, now we saw the volatility to the upside, right? 3 days, you move $16. What happens if you start taking out, you know, the little structure you have built out right here? Guys, it's going to go timber. You're going to start coming straight down. Okay, so we got that level. I'm just going to take it off for now, just so we can clearly see what's happening here. All right. You have momentum completely slowing, and I do think it's looking, you know, I'm also going to say, I said the same exact thing over here. Like it was an NQ. I said it looked like it was starting to round out down here. Well, you know, I'm going to use that same exact methodology right here. It's looking like it's rounding off to me here on the daily time frame. So we can go up, but I don't think you're going much higher. I really don't, guys. I think you know, your upside is limited from this point on before it moved down. Okay, and that move down, guys, we're watching 486.86 on the downside. That's a major break and retest right there if we get it. And if you do see it, that's your major buying opportunity to ride that uptrend. Because quite frankly, guys, we're still in a freaking uptrend. There's no reason to go short the thing. I'm not saying don't short it right now, all right? I'm not telling you guys that. But I am going to say right now, when you started breaking out here, we knew we were going to keep going, all right, until we put in some bearish divergence. Well, guys, the first bearish divergence is right here. It spawns right here, okay? This is most of the move. You already, like, you know, so at least wait for that. At least wait for, you know, your warning signs to pop up before trying to, you know, just throw money at the opposite direction of the trend. That's that. Surprises will continue to be to the upside, but hey, all right, hey, we could be seeing some downside. You just got to take out some levels, okay? So 495, that's really the level that's standing out to me right here, okay? Cliff, dive. If you break that level, you have absolutely nothing. You're going to have a straight up, like, this is going to move probably 1 to 2 hours. You're going to have that get taken out. All right. Why? You have absolutely no structure there. We're going to have to see, you know, what shapes up here with our oscillators on the 15-minute RSI and the 5-minute RSI as we start moving down there. But as you guys see, we got this little head and shoulders action going on here. And, you know, if you just come over here, maybe you stall out in the golden pocket tomorrow, it's not going to be the best look. You stall out at 498.81. That can be a level that you're paying attention to. Not that level, all right? 498.76. That is a level to be paying attention to. That was your, you know, you got the 15-minute opening range trade. All right. I don't know if anybody, you know, messes with that. But you do have this clearly defined range going on here between the top of the 15-minute candlestick and the bottom. You wait to see the first close, and then you wait for the retest of that. That would be an entry, you know, using that strategy right there. But as you see, you know, as respected earlier in the day, I assume if we come into that level tomorrow, it's going to be respected tomorrow. So that is a level to go short off of if you were, you know, going to bet on the downfall of QQQ. But I'm just going to also say right there, if we come up and hit that, guys, nothing's really, you know, changed from what I'm talking about right here. You're just going to have a right shoulder for this inverse head, not inverse head and shoulders, an actual head and shoulders pattern, okay? Most of the time on this channel, we talk about inverse head and shoulders patterns. Why? Because, you know, I'm long focused. Guys, the market, you know, if you're in a bull market, the market's going to naturally just go up. Surprise, are going to keep being to the upside. As long as this weekly trend is up, we're going to keep seeing these surprises to be to the upside. And guys, this was the time you had to really put some damage, guys. You got to do this, put in the lower high, and then once you take this out, that's when you could do some damage. Well, tell me why every time you had an opportunity to do that, it was, you know, just searching for liquidity right underneath the previous low. What is that? That's setting a trap, okay? It's straight up a trap. And, you know, you had a look down here as well. We knew downside was limited. You came down 2% more. You were going to backtest a major level. August 2022. That's a big level. Guess what, guys? All right. We could see this thing's up. The trend is going to remain up until it turns down. And guess what happens when you pull back into this level right here, 486.86? It's just going to put in a higher low. Like, you got to do some real damage to this chart to put it into a downtrend. So there's no reason to be bearish on this, guys. Just wait for your pullbacks. Look for your buying opportunities. There's that. If you're a scalper, keep scalping. Keep doing your thing and killing it. There's that. All right, guys. So here on QQQ, pretty simple, guys. You're paying attention to this golden pocket right here. You're paying attention to this golden pocket right here. I don't know which one we're going to test tomorrow. I got no idea, but it's probably going to be one or the other. Let's say you open up underneath this golden pocket, okay, underneath the 0.786 fib here. If you open up and go underneath 496, we're going to say, hey, 495.06 is now likely going to be hit. All right, that is completely on the table. And underneath there, you have nothing until you come all the way down here to 491.17. And then underneath that level, you also have nothing. Like, obviously, you have these little spots here. Okay, you do. You do. I could find them, all right? And, you know, if we start going out there, yeah, that's what I'll be, you know, updating the Discord with, and that's what I'll be trading futures with. We're going to go level to level, guys, all right? But you could very clearly see there's a price gap here. There's, like, I understand you have actual price action, but, you know, the price action was thin. There wasn't structure built out here. There's not much to go off of. So we're going to have to see what is being respected down there and what's not. But yeah, to me, looks like it's topping. And those are my thoughts on SPY and QQ. The rest of the tickers, guys, we're going to make these quick. I just, you know, the bulk of what I do here each and every day is SPY and QQQ. All right. That is the bulk of, you know, my day is tracking SPY and QQQ. Well, as well as, you know, NQ and ES and, you know, IWM as well. But yeah, those are the tickers that I really have my eye on all day, every single day. And yeah, those are, you know, in my dreams at nights. SPY and QQQ. I'm kidding. They're not. Wouldn't that be funny? I wouldn't be surprised if maybe I'm just forgetting. I don't know. Maybe sometimes. But nah, I wouldn't say I really have nightmares, guys. As the time goes on, you'll just learn not to put yourself in bad positions. And then as a trader, you will probably not have dreams about the trades. You'll probably just have dreams like a normal person. There you go. Okay, guys? Unless, you know, the dream is really good and you're just making so much money. But I feel like I have not had one of those dreams where life is just amazing and you're doing that. All right, that was a side note. Let's continue on, guys. We pointed out yesterday that you were getting tight over here on IWM. I think by, was the 18th? Yeah, 18th, you're going to be over here at your apex, okay? That is the time where you were definitely going to have either a breakdown or a breakout. I don't know which one's going to happen. It looks like it's going to break up to me with how it's shaping up. Just considering, you know, the look of this thing, you could see this very well could have been your retracement. And now you're just curling, you know, you're coiling up here and you're going to have a big break. Okay. And if you can break up, then we're just going to be paying attention over here on IWM, 205 to 207. That's that. One or the other is going to happen. We're about to find out. You want to come down here to the intraday action, though. Golden pocket. That's what you respected. All right. You respected the golden pocket off of, you know, this move up that you had yesterday. And then guess what? You came down, you sold down to this. You bounce off the bottom trend line here. Okay. And and then you came up to resistance. Okay, and if you really wanted to do something crazy, you could have seen that it went golden pocket to golden pocket. This area right here, this is your free price gap. This is, if I was in this, I would say, this is where I'm confident. Yeah, okay, I can hold the trade during this. I see it all the time over on ES and NQ, guys. They follow the same exact patterns. I'm talking the very small time frames. I'm talking the 2 minute and the 5 minute. You'll see them go golden pocket to golden pocket consistently. All right, and that's that. All right, DIA though, guys. What are we paying attention to? A whole lot of nothing still. You're just still finding sellers over here in the golden pocket. There's that. It's just grinding up, but it looks like it's probably going to spill over to me. That's just, if I just had to take a guess, that is exactly what this, suggests to me. Got this uptrend you could be paying attention to. Got this going on right here. Got a little wedge action, maybe. Probably not. All right, maybe parallel channel. And you got a little of that going on. Okay, it really doesn't look the best to me. I'm just going to put it out there. And that's just my opinion. It looks like it's starting to roll over. But hey, if you could pop above 396.50, we'll talk about it. That's that. VIX, guys, stuck in the range. Don't pay too much attention to Mr. VIX until it starts telling us something. It's doing a whole lot of nothing. All right, when this thing gets down there, look for it to bounce. When it gets up here, look for it to either sell right away or set up a bearish divergence like it did over here, and then you sell from there. Sold right away, bearish divergence, sold right away, sold right away, sold right away, bounce. You put in a bullish divergence? No, you did not. Yeah, you did right at the bottom, all right? Bullish divergence, or you just look for it to bounce down here. It's pretty simple if you're just tracking Mr. VIX over here. And that's that. All right, now moving on to the semis. All right, guys, so the semis over here, I'm just going to say, look like they're going to keep running. So, if you're not new to the channel, then you've definitely heard me say this. Semis lead tech. Tech leads, SMH will lead QQQ. QQ will lead SPY. SPY will lead everything else. All right? Semiconductors, they lead big tech. Big tech leads, the overall market. The overall market will dictate what everything else does. I'm just saying, this thing looks like it wants to run up to the high. It looks very similar to this chart over here on TSM the other day, right over here, where you just push, slightly underneath it, and you put in a neutral candlestick. But, at the end of the day, you've already popped above the 0.786 fib, pretty decently there. $3, a whole percent above the 0.786 fib. If this was going to be a retracement of this move and then you were going to come down and sell, it very easily, there's a path here for price to do something like that. All right. And that's what I was saying. You go golden pocket to golden pocket. Well, break and retest right here. It would have been picture perfect to do something like that. All right. We see it all the time. All the time. You've already gone past that, though. You had this little bull flag action going on here. All right. And from this point, I would be very surprised for you not to run back up, which means, guys, we could not have the high in for SPY and QQQ. We can continue higher. We could do this little gap up and then consolidate action just another day. And honestly, if this thing gets up here, who's to say this thing isn't going to have a big breakout? Consolidated, big breakout. Pretty decent breakout, but you also consolidate after, and then you went higher. Breakouts, they're not small. All right. This is like a lot of pullback here. This is like a big pullback. You break out, we have a lot more to go off of, and this run is far from over. That's going to be my opinion if this thing breaks above this high at 279. Double tops are extremely unlikely. All right. Disagree with me all you want, but go find a double top that really played out. You had one right here. That was the last double top that played out. That was it. Okay. You had this one. This one didn't actually have like a whole measured move here. 4% there. Okay. You only felt 2%, and then it was a bear trap, and then you rocketed. We could see something like that for him, but this also isn't 7%. That's less than 5%. This is 7 to 8%. I'd call this a pullback along the broader uptrend. We're probably about to see some fireworks out of the chip sector, just my opinion. NVIDIA over here, all right, gave us the fake out. I gave my warning, all right. I gave my stay cautious, everyone, because NVIDIA is playing tricks. Well, NVIDIA did end up indeed playing tricks about playing tricks. I guess, you know, they were false breakouts for the time being, but buyers did end up taking the wheel eventually. And you went straight up to 133.73. Or above 128.12. That is, you know, that was the level to be paying attention to up here. That's where the structure lies. Guess what? The high was 128 or 133.82. So only 9 cents above. NVIDIA, guys, if you get above 136.10, we're going to say, you're going straight to 140.76 with all likelihood, unless it's just with a wick, and then boom, you get sucked back down by the end of the day and close underneath it. You got to close above here. Yeah, expect it to come over here. SMH, you know, you already got above here, and you're just kind of playing this slow drag game over here, okay? Well, if you come over here in NVIDIA, okay, NVIDIA is doing the same exact thing, except it's just a step behind here, and we could see it get dragged. So, you know, that's something to pay attention to, guys. Powell spoke today. He didn't do anything. He caused some volatility. It was nice, but, you know, at the end of the day, it didn't really bring much. AMD, guys, we have a new level to pay attention to. Watch for the retest of 172.49. If it can retest 172.49, all right, and it holds, we're going to call it this zone right here. If it does, that is your buying opportunity for the, you know, move up there. That is a, you know, just from here to here, that's your $10 move. That is big gains. SMCI, another false breakout today, but, you know, you kind of close right on the trend line. It wants to break up, guys. It does. I could see it. I can see it. You know, this thing was bound to snap eventually, and it looks like it's going to snap to the upside. All right. If it can, you know, I really want to see a daily close above this trend line right here. And from that point, I'm going to say golden pocket incoming, 1,020 to 1,106.11 incoming. That is that. TSM, I already gave a sneak peek earlier. You know, fresh new high, break and retest right here. You do have the daily bearish divergence going on there. Okay, so that is something that, you know, you're going to want to see it pull back a little bit. Okay. If it's going to go higher, all right, and hold on to that bearish divergence, and it's going to pull back a little bit, and then it's going to go up to make a new high. And quite frankly, guys, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you're just going to keep running with how this thing is looking to me. All right, I could see it. But, you know, if we get another nasty red candle, guys, you know, it is time to be cautious. We've been talking about it for like 2 weeks on SPY. Because what the heck is this thing? It's time to be cautious when these, not that thing. These things over here. What the heck is this thing? All right. It's time to be cautious. Okay. So if you just had another leg up and we start doing the same exact action, we're going to get cautious. Okay. And now on the, like, that's the weekly starting to, you know, momentum is slow in here. I understand you engulfed it and you did that. That's crazy. Okay. I understand. But now you're doing the same thing here on the weekly, or not the weekly, the daily that you were doing on the weekly, which honestly, guys, are we just seeing it, you know, go time frame to time frame here? We saw what we saw over here on the 15-minute time frame. What the heck are all these bearish divergences, right? The thing wants to pull back. You see what I see here with the hourly RSI. It can keep popping. It can. We've seen it before where you put in a bearish divergence here, and then you have another leg up. But then you also have this where, you know, let's just mark this on the RSI. You did that. You went to slight new high here. You grinded higher. And then you know, had this decent sell. $11. Well, guys, you see where that is marked? It's right where this one was. So, you know, quite frankly, I think it's looking like we're probably going to get the spillover first. And I would be so thankful for it because that means we get another chance to actually play this uptrend instead of the thing just going straight up. Because, you know, that's no fun. You want the volatility. You want the pullbacks. You don't want things to go straight up. Unless you're just, you know, hey, you're not getting in and out of positions. You're not actually trading. You're not looking to do that. You're just kind of looking to, oh, let me just long the uptrend and hope for the best. If that is your strategy and it's been working for you, hey, keep doing that. Okay? Whatever's working for you, keep doing that if it's making you money. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's not really something that's going to work over time. It's not. And anyone who's been around the block knows that's not something that works. Hey, you want to prepare for a big breakout and buy some time and then ride that thing, all right? Hey, do what you got to do, but you definitely got to be taking profits along the way, and you want to re-add those things. as, you know, price comes back into it. Mean reversion, guys. Right now, you see where the daily 9 is? It's all the way down here at 550. We're at 555. There's that. Okay. Let's see over here. You got, you know, what is that? $7 away from it. You got like, we're going to say $6 to $7. I know the magnet was on. It's pissing me off. Regardless, guys, you know, you're getting pretty extended. You're looking like you're rolling over. Let's move on, though. I don't want this to be a super long video. MU. Okay, guys, you're still getting sellers stepping in. It makes sense. You're beneath the 9 right now. You're getting sellers around the 9. It makes perfect sense what's going on. You're getting sellers at this trend line, this, you know, previous uptrend, now broken uptrend, break and retest. Okay. Now, you break below this low from yesterday there, okay, which the exact level is 130.09. You know, you pretty much just put in a boom, lower high, and now you're going to have a lower low. You're going to be spilling over. Okay, so you got demand, you have buy orders in here, but they're getting soaked up by the sell orders. That's the only reason price is staying down here. Only reason is because we have a balance down here. Well, you know, you can have these bounces, but when you're doing this and then you have a dead cat bounce, a lower high bounce, and then it comes back down to a lower low, you know that that layer of buy orders just got eaten. Okay, it means you're potentially closer to this thing actually spilling because the buy orders are soaking up here. There's a layer here, there's a layer here. What happens if you just, boom, you get through this one, you just start plummeting through that one? Well, there's nothing now holding you up until maybe all the way down here or down here. And that's a ways to be. 125, guys, that's where I think this thing is heading. I'm watching for it. So should you. There you go. Amazon. All right, we're going to go over the big boys now. Amazon. Doing the same thing I was just talking about. It's just rolling over, right? It's curling up here. Rounded top. Momentum is slowing. You know, if we see a big green dildo candlestick, that's fine too. Okay, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you know, this thing looks like it has room to pull back a bit here. And I would like it. All right, so that is that. Microsoft. Big green weekly candlestick followed by that pullback. See, this is what we're talking about. Get this on the indices. Now we're talking. Get this on everything. Now we're talking. Microsoft back at the 9. Underneath here, though, if it can't hold right here, you watch these two levels right here. 456.17. Okay, I'm going to take this off. You already came down to it. 456.17 underneath there. 450.14. That's where you're paying attention to. Underneath 450.14, 443.40. That's not all going to happen in one day. Don't worry. Extremely unlikely. Apple. We literally are just going to watch this 220.20 breakout, and that's all you got to pay attention to here if it pulls back. Other than that, this thing is an aggressive uptrend here. Fresh breakout after what? You know, a year? Okay. Yeah, just about a year. You just broke through this high. And guess what? You made marginal new highs over here. So, you know, kind of, it's like a 3-year breakout, 2.5-year breakout here. This thing's finally getting its next leg up. All these other guys have gotten legs up. Apple has not gotten a leg up in quite some time. Microsoft just kept going up. Amazon, okay? This is very similar to Apple, all right? It took a lot of time. We're finally now here. 3 years. I would say this is bigger than Apple. I'm just saying. But yeah, guys, you know, these are looking pretty good. They're looking pretty good on the weekly time frame. Pullbacks are buying opportunities. So, you know, don't let me scare you away from these guys. Meta, all right, still just consolidating right over here above the previous highs. That means, guys, we got a balance going on here. If you pull back into this 523.86 level, I'm looking for buyers to soak that up. Just my opinion. Okay, now let's talk about some Bitcoin, guys. It is looking like you are going to be following this arrow. This is a realistic path for me. You got to get above this daily 9. You can see you got a lot of freaking rejection going on here. You got, you know, it's got underneath it 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then you had that false breakout right there. Got sucked back underneath it within 2 trading sessions. And you know, now we're just coming up to test it again. But if you can get a daily close above there, and you do get above 59,313, you know, guys, you're probably going to break out of this channel and you're probably going up here. At that point, CLSK over here, our boy, CLSK, is going to probably get all the way back up here. That's a big move, all right? The longer this thing sits down here, the longer you have your buying opportunity. This is your swing trade buying opportunity, okay? I'm talking you buy 1 to 2 months out, and you just sit on it. You buy 3 to 6 months out if you really want to. I think it'll pay between this level and right around right here at 1503, all right? 1391 to 1503. I want to call that the buy zone over here on CLSK. And you know, Bitcoin, without it's looking like it's going to recover. This thing ain't looking too bad to me. You're at least looking for a test of 59313. And you know, it was right over here. This was July 4th. So July 4th, where was that? It was right over here. So we're looking for, we should at least be coming up, you know, highs over here at 16 bucks. And, you know, if not, we're going to take out this 1646 level from there, 1723 and then 1796. All right. So that's that. You got the same exact thing over here on Mara, or not Mara, Coin. All right. Nothing much has changed over here on Coin. Just, you know, it's not so oversold. So I'm not going to really say it's a big buying opportunity over there in Coin. Mara, that is what I meant over here. Mara, the longer this thing stays down, guys, you have a chance to load up in this consolidation, this beautiful consolidation. I do think the time is near for Mara. Okay, you did have a bull trap going on over here, but I do think the time is near. All right, I think this thing is going to be, you know, bouncing back. If you want to, you know, be watching stuff for something to buy on this thing, 4-hour RSI, you see it get into oversold territory. That's when you're in discount mode. Okay, I understand you fell quite a bit over there, you know, but give it, you know, more than a week, give it 2 weeks, and guess what? Give it a week and a half, and you're back at the same exact price. And then give it you know, the full 2 weeks, 2 more days after that, then you're up to 13%. So, you know, things can spill over from where you are right here when you get into the 4-hour oversold territory. But in reality, all right, you know, you're probably just going to get buyers stepping in aggressively down here in the golden pocket. You take a position here, you take a big position down here, you're sitting pretty on Mara. Okay, it doesn't matter what happens at that point. You're making money off of it. And this is, I'm speaking, if you're buying with time or shares, that's how I would, you know, go about things. No financial advice will be given here on this channel. I'm just, you know, talking about my experience. And, you know, if I was talking to myself, this is exactly how I do it. So, you know, that's that. But that is that over there on Mara. You got Riot here sitting at the bottom of the range. That is something I like to see. You're getting buyers stepping up. That is not the worst look in the world. But at the end of the day, guys, I told you CLSK, that is the baby that we're going to pay attention to for the time being. Trade ideas, Henry's trade ideas. All right. I just, you know, I know those are some midterm ideas that I think are going to work. These are some short-term ideas that I think are going to be paying. All right. Disney. You hit it with the bullish divergence here on the daily RSI. I like it. You hit it with the hammer candlestick off the 96.51 level that we were paying attention to. I love it. All right. I love it. What do you also have paired with that? Increasing volume. I know you can't see it because the dividend's right there. That's okay. All right. You have the increasing volume stepping in there. I love to see what we are seeing on Disney. This is the exact entry that we've been waiting on. And quite frankly, guys, some people like to jump the gun, and maybe they're early. You know, maybe they're right. And maybe they get it right when they're early. But at the end of the day, patience will continue to pay over time. And that is definitely something I have seen, you know, stand to be true throughout pretty much everything I've ever done in trading. Patience is always going to be the thing that pays. Sometimes lottos hit, guys, all right? But, you know, do enough lottos over time, they're not going to pay. They're not going to pay. Patience is the thing that will pay. Moving on to Alta. Alta, guys, we talked about it when it was at the bottom of the range over here. We talked about on the weekly update. And now, guys, you're starting to get some buying action over here on Alta. It wants to break out. It wants to do it above 399.18. We're looking for 411.60. And then above there, 422.10. But this is something that, you know, is clearly basing down here. It's giving your time to accumulate with whoever the big boy is down here accumulating. But this thing's getting ready to move back up, in my personal opinion. It's just having a rounded out bottom down here. And Basin. Pan W. This is one that you guys can actually see the picture pretty clear here on the weekly time frame. You know, you're basing above this key level. You keep getting these, you know, liquidity sweeps below. That's fine. At the end of the day, I do think this thing is going to be moving back to the top of this range here and then breaking out. Worst case scenario, you're coming down here to 324.68. And from there, you get a massive buying opportunity, in my personal opinion, over here. It's just a very clean setup. If you can get it down there, it would be a very nice buy. All right, you had a lot of action going on over here. I doubt it you're going to have buyers not stepping in down there. that is an opportunity, worth waiting for. But also there's a current setup to talk about right here. Tesla coming up, slamming your head into 265.13 resistance. All right. The high of day was 265.61, guys. If you have good levels, you will see price action respect those levels. Okay. If you have good trend lines, you will see price action respect those trend lines. Tesla has exploded. Tesla is continuing to run. It is only Tuesday. This volume is half the volume from last week. The thing wants to continue moving, guys. Tesla's going higher. Like it or not. You see that increasing volume here? The volume ain't slowing, baby. I understand you're at resistance, but quite frankly, this looks like you're probably going to gap above it and go. All right. How much you go? I have no idea, but this thing wants to move $10 at a time. Let's do it. All right. Let's do it. Above 260, 513. What are you paying attention to? 278.98 is the level to watch. That is a decent ways away. 15 whole schmeckles up there. All right. $13. Above there, what's the level to pay attention to, guys? 299.29. Crazy things are possible over here on Tessie. And quite frankly, I think it's coming here. And I think it's coming here. All right. I know I sound like a perma bull. I get it. But I told you guys, this is really going to be the spot to pay attention to here at 265.13. You get above it, and you've done something that you haven't done in quite some time over here in Tesla. You see right here, okay, you came down, lower high, all right, came down, equivalent high, came down, came back up, lower high, came down, lower low, came up, lower high, came down, lower low down here, started to switch the script over here. What happened? It started to do it. And now, guys, it's been a whole year since you were in an uptrend over here because you entered into this downtrend as of right here. Okay. So you were neutral. You entered in a downtrend right here. Why? You took out this previous low. And then guess what? You made the lower high, and then you went like that, okay? And then you had another low, and then you had a lower high, and you went lower. Regardless, guys, it's starting to switch the script. The tides are turning. The tides are changing. We're seeing this thing about to rumble, and you guys can see the same thing I'm looking at right here, okay? Same exact thing. You got a zone right here you got to get through. It's looking like, it's possible just to bust through it, but you're probably not gonna. You're probably going to get some of this action. Something like that, if I had to take a guess at it. GS, we talked about it before we broke out. We talked about it when it broke out, and we're talking about it now in the retest of that breakout. This thing looks like, I know it already took out the high. It looks like it's going higher, though. Okay, so that's that. Just a little update on that one. SoFi, all right, we talked about it. We've said it's basing out. It's getting ready for something. Well, what happened? You went and took out the low. What did that create? A daily bullish divergence here on the RSI. Well, guys, you're getting pretty close to that 0.786 fib. That's going to be the best long opportunity you're going to get right here if it's going to bounce back. I'm just saying, SoFi's getting ready for something. Down here, guys, below the zone I have marked out, that's where you're in discount territory. That's where I would be buying. No financial advice will be given on this channel. Moving on to Roku. All right, Roku, guys, we talked about it the other day. It came right back into the trend line. You almost back tested that level. The low was 60.52. We were watching 60.43. All right, came back, tested this daily 9 right there, and now it looks like you're ready to explode over here on Roku. The next level to watch above 63.21 is going to be 66.75, and that is that. Oxy, I'm going to point out, if buyers are going to step in, it's going to be here in the golden pocket. I didn't see this coming. I didn't think you were going to have this deep of a pullback. You're going to pull back here and then push up. All right, break and retest failed. Now you're in the golden pocket. I do think you're going to get buyers stepping in. I don't think that was it for this whole run that you've coiled up here. You had a spring load, and I heavily doubt that was it. All right, I think you're probably just getting some pullback action right there, and then you're going to continue. BA. Respecting the downtrend that we pointed out the other day, we said we were looking for a breakout over here. We were watching for one. If we can get it, a larger move is going to be in play over here on BA. What we did yet is you came right up to this high over here and you sold off. So we do know sellers are there, guys. So that is going to be a level that we're going to mark out. Okay. I'm going to say the close of that. Oh, look at that. It's definitely the close being respected right there because the high over there was 191.50. 191.42 was the level to pay attention to. All right. So above 191.42, if you can get a daily close above that level, guys, I do think a larger swing upward in BA will be on the table. And that is that. Netflix. All right, guys, you're just kind of consolidating here, right there in your range. Okay. Come to the bottom range, long. All right. Like just a mean long opportunity right there. Quite frankly, I still think you're going to just bust up. And that is that. All right, guys. So that is what I have for you today. Carvana is still just sitting here loading. If you do come down to 115, where my alert is down there, I really like it for a long down there. I think that thing would be primed if we could get a move down there. But I do see a bull flag / falling wedge pattern going on right here. I will just mark that out for all of your eyes as well, because mine just kind of sees things. And then, yeah, it's just in my brain. There's that. Falling wedge pattern, Carvana, trade idea going into tomorrow for short term. Weeklies, there you go. Again, no financial advice, but I will definitely give you plenty of opportunity here on this channel. J&J, all right, this is also something that we pointed out the other day. You did get that pullback into it. Not looking too bad, all right? So I'll do a little speed run right here. SQ, guys, you got that falling wedge action, breakout, break and retest. I didn't like, what happened here yesterday, but I will say it is, it's still breaking out of this long-term downtrend. And that's the thing that, we could just be testing these waters right here. Okay. And then you could get a bigger move. That is what I'm thinking here. INTC, that's another one that I think is an honorable mention. We mentioned that in the weekly update. You now, 10% on a week, guys. We haven't had that in quite some time. Well, we mention it. What happens? We have 10% weeks. All right, guys. So INTC, guys, you already closed the gap. I wouldn't be chasing this thing. The daily RSI is all the way up there. I understand it can go. It's unlikely that you're going to really get this whole move without pulling back. You're going to see a setup for him, in my personal opinion. That's that. Octa, hit it with the break and retest off of this. Is one we pointed out the other day, getting that breakout. Hit with the break and retest off this double bottom. Okay. Got respected. Now you're pushing back up. I think this is set up for a larger reversal. Just my opinion. And that is everything, guys. Iron, I do think you're gonna probably pull back into this level. I know that's a really big pullback, but this thing has gone straight up. And from a weekly, perspective here, this would be such a good, thing to do on the charts. All right. It would just come back and fill some structure. All right. You only tested it once here. You busted through it. You want to test it. All right. Like that is a very healthy look. If you could come back, guys, that is a clear as day long opportunity up the wazoo. All right. Let's get it. Okay. On the upside, you're watching the above levels, but quite frankly, this thing, just go find another example here where you had a major pullback here. You had that major pullback, 20%. Rallied up to a slight new high, and then boom, you're now giving back most of the move within 2 days? No. All right, no. It looks like this actually might be a little double top action. You might come down here, and you probably find buyers somewhere in the zone. If I had to really, put some money on it, which I will if you come into it, but, there's that. I'd say that zone right there was probably going to be respected. Right here. Okay? I will leave it right there just so it's nice and pretty for us. But there you go. There you have it, guys. That's the video. That's what I have for you today. If you guys did enjoy the video, our nice 45-minute video here, please remember to leave a like if you found value in the video. Please also remember to share the video. Doesn't matter where you're sharing it. Anything is going to help. And guys, I appreciate all of the comments. I love talking to you guys in the comments. Okay. Engagement definitely does help this channel get more eyeballs on it, and that helps the YouTube algorithm. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of more growth here on the channel, our little corner of YouTube. All right, guys, it's expanding to a nice walk-in closet of YouTube. Okay, right, before we just had a little hanger. Now we got a closet that we can walk in. We still can't turn on the lights. I haven't installed the lights in our little walk-in closet here yet, but that is coming. Once we reach 10K, guys, we're gonna put a mirror in there. All right, put some light bulbs in, and we'll have a good time. All right, we'll have a good time. All right, with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Love you guys. Appreciate y'all. Go check out the links below, guys. Twitter, if you want to go trade with me. Discord link is down below. But yeah, go check out the Twitter. You will also enjoy being subscribed over there as well. Peace.